Welcome. I hope you're doing good today. This lecture is going to be on how yoga can enhance your communication. And yoga, the basic activity or the basic function of yoga is to just clear out your chakra system. So in this way, your throat chakra and your throat, because your chakra system is along your spine, and your spine is very integral in your communication. You talk with your throat, right? And your throat is connected to your spine and the throat chakra. So just by that means, by practicing yoga, you are clearing out your communication, or you're clearing out your ability to communicate. So what that means is when you clear out your ability to communicate with people, you get rid of the anger, the frustration, the confusion, right? You get rid of everything that clouds your communication. Everything that might offend your wife or your friend. Anything that might muddy up your communication, right? Anything that might cause conflict with other people. There are lots of things that poor communication can do or enhance. And everything that yoga enhances with your communication is positive. Because in my experience, and in the experience of everybody that I've studied with, yoga, it just makes you more compassionate. It makes you more understanding. And because yoga makes you more compassionate and it makes you understanding, yoga causes you to think before you speak. This has been the biggest difference and the biggest benefit from my brain injury and my concussions. Because I had a frontal lobe brain injury, and when you damage your frontal lobe, that means you damaged the parts of your brain that control anger, right? Your filters on your speech are directly impacted. You don't have them anymore. So I've been able to get back some of my filters and some of that, but when you have a brain injury, you are just not going to behave normally or the way that everybody wants you to behave, right? That's what a brain injury is. It's not damage because you can repair it if you take my yoga classes, but it's an injury. I know how to repair your brain through yoga. I know how to repair your body through yoga. I've done it myself. So you should go to me because I have the experience and I have the testimonials to prove it, that it works. But I digress. Yoga also promotes non-violence. Ahimsa is the first yama, and yamas, if you've ever heard of the yamas and the niyamas, yamas are ethical restraints in yoga. So yamas are, I guess they would be, you would not do things that are immoral or things that go against self-respect or that go against respecting your brother. Because we all come from the same place. So when you disrespect your brother, when you disrespect me, you're disrespecting yourself. Good job. So don't do that. This is why bullying is so toxic, and why so many people can disguise bullying as, oh, I'm just teaching them a lesson. I'm just being a teacher. No, there are so many teachers that just bully people, and they think that that's how they're supposed to act. It's not. Because bullying people is violent speech. Violence doesn't just pertain to punching someone in the face or being aggressive and physical. Violence also comes from your speech, from your throat chakra. And when you understand that we're all the same, we all come from the same thing, we all come from the same energy. Like I tell this story all the time, but I think last week there was a spider crawling across my floor, and I didn't kill it. I took a piece of paper and I took a glass and I captured the spider and I took it outside so it could live. Because I used to be afraid of spiders. I had arachnophobia or whatever. You know how many people are taking pills for their fear of spiders or something that's so small that they could just change themselves if they knew about ethical restraints, if they practiced yoga, if they actually changed the physical and mental structures that are steering themselves through life. Taking a pill or medication is never going to fix your physical and mental structures. That's a band-aid. You're just numbing yourself so that, okay, maybe you'll act like you're supposed to for a couple weeks or for a couple months, but when you stop taking that band-aid, you haven't learned how to actually cause your body and your mind to see. It's changing your habits. That's what yoga does on a subconscious level. You don't even notice it happening. Right? And another point is that your communication is clearest when you are calm and centered. And yoga and meditation help to calm both your body and your mind. And when you calm your body and your mind down, your habits start to change. You literally will never be the same again. That's why I love yoga. Because it takes you back to how you used to act as a child. Hopefully you've matured emotionally, right? But it takes you back to being a child, to being innocent, to treating everybody with respect. Even the spiders that crawl across your floor. The spiders that crawl across your floor that you might be afraid of. Like, when I was a kid, I used to not want to sleep in my bed when I saw a spider in my room. That's how afraid I was of them. And now I care about them. Like, that's magic. And there are also, if you start to practice the more advanced styles of yoga, you'll start to be introduced to energetic locks. And these energetic locks, you're locking your chakras. So the one lock that works with your throat chakra is called Jalandhara Bandha. So it's basically you're locking your throat. You're basically stopping the energy from flowing up past your throat. So when you do bandhas, you're sucking in your stomach. You bring your chin close to your chest, and that locks the energy at your throat chakra. And all kinds of wonderful things happen. And that also helps you with your communication directly because you're working with the throat chakra. But I'd have to walk you through that exercise to actually explain it more, And just with calming the body and the mind, that pertains to your nervous system. So your nervous system is always, I don't know if I want to say this, but your nervous system is always in control. So like, I used to suffer from social anxiety. I think it's bullshit now. But when you have social anxiety, your breath is trapped right underneath your throat chakra, right? Right in between your heart chakra and your throat chakra. So it's like you almost have the heart and the courage to say something, but the energy it won't go past your throat chakra. If you've ever felt anxious, if you've ever felt socially anxious around a group of people, you know what I'm talking about. You can feel it too when I'm describing it to you. It's this tightness that's right right in your clavicle, right? And that's the energy literally being stuck. You know, when you speak and you're not anxious, your energy is supposed to be in your navel, around your root chakra, your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra and your root chakra give you the courage to speak, because then you're grounded and you're motivated, or you want to project. The sacral chakra projects, right? So does the throat chakra. But if your energy is caught at the throat and the heart, nothing's gonna get out. It has to be down in your root and your sacral chakra, and then you're comfortable to speak. Like right now, I'm speaking to you from my diaphragm, and you can tell my voice is louder, it's deeper. But then when you're really anxious, then your voice is just up here, and you can barely even get a word out, because your chest just feels so tight. And when you start to practice yoga every day and with discipline, your breath starts to go lower and lower in your diaphragm. So your nervous system and your voice are connected. And when you're anxious, you're tense. So you're literally holding your thoughts in, and you're holding your energy in. That's why you get tense like that. When you're relaxed, then you let stuff out. I don't care. You just say whatever you want, right? And that's what yoga does to your body. It relieves the tension. It releases the tension. And a good practice for you to do, actually, is to record yourself talking. I notice a lot of content creators, they don't speak to the camera. And you got to get over that. You got to be brave, because it's a good way to just watch back what you record and say. Like my voice, my first yoga teachers, they kind of insulted me, and they were just like, "Oh, you have this way of talking where you're always like," he said that my tone of voice, he's like, I never finished my sentences. Like I would always be like asking a question after my sentence. And I thought it was kind of rude, but okay. She's like, yeah, you kind of have this weird way of talking, and you're like, and I think women kind of talk the same way. It's like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Like that weird lisp, or that weird enunciation of the way that you talk. It's like when you end a sentence, you're not ending it with a period. And I used to talk like that. So recording myself talking and watching it back helped me to rewire that and to stop talking like that. But when you record yourself talking, you watch it back and you note, you need a pen and paper for this, you note what you don't like about your voice, and you brainstorm ways to change it, to morph it, and transform it into what you want. And you can go on YouTube and look up, I don't know, speech therapists or whatever, and you can look up ways to do this. That's what I did. And it may not seem like all of these little things will matter, but when you add them up, they do. It's all of this is how the subconscious mind works. Your subconscious mind is always continuing on habits and behaviors that you are not aware of. And then all of a sudden one day you're just like, oh, I'm such a terrible person. It's like, no, you're not a terrible person. The habits that you have been doing and the way that your subconscious mind is just running through these habits is making you a terrible person or whatever. It's making you obese. You can change that at any time that you want to. And my yoga practice has helped me with my own communication. I'm someone who makes videos almost every day. I'm putting myself out into the world. People chirp me all the time. I don't care anymore. Because I realize it's just some stranger on the internet. Just, he's got a problem with his parents or something, you know? It doesn't even have anything to do with me. But before, when I had social anxiety, and I was taking pills for it and going to therapy for it, and I built up all these stories about how I was this weird person who was, you know, I would tell myself, I have social anxiety. I'm not a normal person. That's a story. That's a made up story. And I told it. How many other people tell themselves the same thing that I'm telling to you, right? It's a made up story that I told myself, and I identified myself. I'm not even my body, but I identified myself with my mental illness, or with something that I said was a mental illness, right? The kind of person that I am, I don't like being around people. I would rather be alone. Do you know why? Because I've had a spiritual awakening. I am in heaven when I am alone. It's when other people get around me and they project their own ideas of what I should be or what I should be doing that I start to become depressed. When I'm by myself, I am perfectly happy and fine. So, am I someone with social anxiety, or am I just someone who is an introvert and just leave me alone? I don't thrive in groups of people. I never have and I never will. I know myself. This is the other gift that yoga can give you. You understand who you are, so you stop trying to fit yourself into situations and with people that you don't fit with. Because then you're not getting in arguments with people. You're not in conflict with people because you're around the right kinds of people. You know, you're not around these people just because you smoke the same drugs or because you do the same sports. You're around these people and you're friends with people because you are both empaths or you're both psychopaths, or see? Like, this is how it used to be in high school for me. I would be friends with people who had the same interests as me, but they're not the same as me mentally. They don't actually care about people. They're not compassionate people. They're, you know. And those were almost the only times that I found myself in conflicts with people, you know. I would start hanging out with these people, and I mean, this is how guys groom girls. They brag to girls all the time and try to convince them that there's something that they're not. And then when the girl actually gets in a relationship with them and she gets pregnant, then she finds out the guy was lying the whole time and he's not actually who he said he was. Right? But it's too late now because he got you knocked up. Right? It happens all the time. Because people are deceptive with their communication. And yoga doesn't make me want to be deceptive. At all. It makes me want to save spiders' lives. You know. And these things just started happening to me. I never took note of it. It just happened. All of a sudden I stopped acting like an asshole. Such an asshole. I can still be an asshole, but you know what I mean? It just happens to me. I was practicing yoga because yoga made me feel good. It got rid of my headaches. Everything else was just a bonus. But this is why you need to be practicing yoga. I know it's attractive to be a gangster and to sell drugs and to just drink every night or drink every weekend and party all the time, but most people get to an age where they actually want a family and they want to, right? Some people, it takes them a long time to figure out what's actually worth putting their time into. And that's what I feel like yoga has helped me with. So there are many different exercises in yoga that you can do that will directly impact your medication, that will directly impact your speech and your communication. But just practicing yoga alone is going to change your communication. So maybe you've been watching some of my content, or you want to practice yoga, or you want to learn. This is your invitation to send me a message. I've been releasing a lot of free content, and I'm not going to stop. But if any of my content speaks to you, just message me, and we can get a video call set up. I've helped out many people with serious degenerative disc disease in his lower back. I've helped lots of people with brain injury, with yoga. So no matter how acute or how severe your injury is, I'm confident yoga can help you, and I'm willing to work with you. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you think yoga can help you out. And thank you for watching my content. I really do appreciate it. Because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So, right? Thank you for watching. The only reason I still film this stuff is because people keep following me and keep commenting. Even if you want to call me an asshole, I don't care. Just leave me a comment, you know. It's all good. I'm just writing some notes down here, but I'm going to end this now, and I hope you enjoy your life, and I wish you the best.